How many of you have ever been to Wind Cave? Have you ever been to Mato Paha? They call it Devil's Tower. Well, those are all the places we're going to go this weekend if you do come on the trip.
So learn your history and take it with you, or when you're there, to start thinking about how you can bring honor back to yourself through what you're doing, these actions, and create some memories.
I think that the work that we're doing is incredibly important, because sometimes when you grow up in situations where you don't see a lot of different opportunities, it limits your vision of what you can do or what's within the realm of possibility for you. You know, I didn't have these opportunities myself, and I didn't realize until I started doing this work that it was also healing for me, extremely powerful in a lot of ways that I didn't anticipate. And I experienced that myself, not knowing who I was, not having a sense of belonging. So having to work together to accomplish a goal is a valuable lesson. It builds these really strong bonds that are really hard to break. Even if they leave the reservation, even if they leave South Dakota and they go somewhere else, they always have that sense of identity that ties them to that experience.
All right, everybody, if you want to go ahead and you can take a seat if there's seats. Here we are, and a small and mighty group. We came together. We knew the weather was going to be bad, but here we are anyway. You know, it's really not about us. It's not about for us at all. It is absolutely for the young people that we have here today who are present. It's for them to carry on. So I'm a res kid. I'm just like them and they're just like me. I really fell in love with the kids, and I started to just imagine what life should be. As Lakota people, we have a very strong connection to the land. But I was also seeing young people who didn't have any connection to it. They weren't being taught, they weren't engaging with it. And I would do anything for the young people of our community to give them an option, an opportunity to have the good life that they deserve. To do something that means so much to so many people is the greatest feeling that you could possibly have.
I mean, it's beautiful. Waking up this morning, I got to just look out of my tent, and when I unzipped it, the clouds were rolling on top of the very peak of Bear Butte, and it was beautiful. I had just like a sheer sense of will to get to the very peak of the mountain, and I just knew it was going to happen because of the amount of spirit that I had with me. I felt as though my ancestors carried us, that made it up to the top, all the way up there. Getting to walk with it with my fellow youth, it was a very treasured moment, and I really did feel as though we were all at home and we were all had this new sense of hope.
I feel like it's bringing a stronger connection. They'll feel more themselves, more determined to keep going, to feel the earth, to see the skies, to see all these trees.
One thing I've always recognized is that our kids don't have the experience or the resource or the opportunity to do things like this with their families. Their parents weren't exposed to the culture because their parents before them weren't, because it was taken away. They can enjoy themselves, they can talk to each other, they can trust each other, and they can trust us. It's a good memory in most of their lives where there's not a lot of good memories. So I hope that while they're here, they can be okay and safe.
Going inside of the earth, it's a powerful experience. You feel like a sense of belonging. Some of them were saying, this is home, I don't want to leave, I just want to stay here. And I could feel that too, even though it could be dark and kind of scary, but it's safe, it's away from the outside world. Anytime they can go to a safe place, a place where they can forget about all of the hardships and the struggles that they have to face every single day, it can be really powerful, and they can always draw on that experience in the future. For so long, being confined on reservations for over 100 years, we weren't allowed to leave. We weren't allowed to travel to these places anymore. And it lets them, start to plant roots in that way that they can, start to grow and thrive, knowing that they can come here, knowing that they can come to these places.
We don't get to access, we don't get to visit all these other sacred places because we live so far away. So now this weekend was special because we were able to visit all of them, Wind Cave and Devil's Tower and Bear Butte, and just be with the land. It was pretty beautiful.
I just hope that this experience opens their eyes, that they'll recreate this someday with their families.
It's a shared experience, not only with each other, but with our ancestors. So again, it's bonding them with our ancestors, with our land, with our culture, with our identity.
I understand that this purchase is a part of the whole land back movement. I really do understand that. But I will say first and foremost, this purchase is youth programming. It is something that we are just doing that is good for the health and wellness of our young people. That is first and foremost. And we needed to be here, and we needed to bring him here, and we needed to put up our teepees, and we needed to say our prayers. And so now we've done that. And now we can always come home. We can always be here.